CommonWell TV live from Las Vegas and HIMSS 16. We're in the thick of HIMSS 16. Why? Because we're now at RelayHealth. And I'm joined by Jeff Gartland, Vice President of Interoperability with RelayHealth. Jeff, great to have you. Thanks for the warm welcome. Let's get right into it. In what ways do you see CommonWell helping to break down barriers to nationwide data exchange?
Well, I'll tell you, CommonWell is all about breaking down barriers to nationwide exchange, and the way we're doing it most is by actually doing it in the real world. You know, the American Hospital Association had a survey a year or so ago that while there's a lot of exchange out there, more than half of the hospitals are not sharing that data outside of their own organization. And that's really where an organization like CommonWell can come into play, and that network makes it a reality. You know, an example of this is my daughter, who had an episode with MRSA, basically staph infection. And over that course of that couple of weeks, we went to a retail clinic, 2 emergency departments, 2 hospital stays, and an infectious disease specialist. And every single one of those locations, we went through the same experience, which was basically introducing ourselves to the healthcare ecosystem for the first time. And so as CommonWell really becomes deployed out there in the nation, it becomes the reality of the fabric of being able to provide data exchange for all of us as individuals and patients.
That's such a frustrating and maddening experience, let me tell you. So in what ways does RelayHealth contribute to CommonWell and its mission to make health data available to providers regardless of where the care occurs?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. So RelayHealth has an interesting position in the CommonWell Health Alliance. So naturally, one of the largest ways that RelayHealth provides value and participates in the CommonWell Health Alliance is as the technology service provider. So we provide all of the foundational scalable technology, the APIs, the certification process to ensure that all of our partners, our vendor members, are capable of participating. Beyond that, because of that seat that we sit in as a service provider, we're also a conduit for a lot of the vision and ideas that flow across the organization around new use cases and how do we think about new settings of care and additional value-added capabilities that we can bring to market. So we play both of those roles.
Outstanding. So what differentiates CommonWell from other groups also focused on breaking down these same barriers to data exchange?
Well, the biggest way I would highlight again that CommonWell is real. And if you just go around this show floor, I think you'll see that interoperability is a buzz, and a lot of people are talking about it and how they could potentially do that. The biggest thing that sets CommonWell apart is that it's real. We now have 4,400 provider sites that are live. We've got almost 8,000 that have signed up for this. We're really starting to see that network grow. And so by really making sure that transaction and that exchange is real, that providers are gaining value out of it, patients are gaining value out of it, that's what's going to differentiate CommonWell.
It's all happened pretty quickly too. So what do you think will be the most significant change in nationwide interoperability in 2016?
Probably one of the biggest advancements in 2016 in terms of nationwide interoperability is going to be the continuation of the deployment and the ability to have more and more geographies, more and more settings of care where people actually go to receive that, whether that be a specialist or a primary care or a retail clinic enabled. And some of the ways that we're going to do that is through the advancement of standards like FHIR. And I'm sure you've heard a lot about fast healthcare interoperability resources over the last couple of days here. And I think the advancement of FHIR will start to take hold this year, but that deployment of the network is really going to be the biggest advancement in 2016.
So before I let you go, where can people go to get more information on RelayHealth?
Well, they can go to www.relayhealth.com and get a lot of information about us there. And you can also go to the CommonWell Alliance website at commonwellalliance.org.
All right. Jeff Gartland, Vice President of Interoperability with RelayHealth. Great to have you. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the warm welcome.
Thank you.
CommonWell TV signing off from Las Vegas and HIMSS 16.